The Ford Ranger ABT Grand Final is the jewel in the crown of the ABT season. Over 100 of Australia's angling elite have gathered at one of the country's premier brim arenas, magnificent Lake Macquarie. The anglers will fish over 3 days in Australia's largest catch and release brim fishing tournament. This is brim fishing at its most competitive, as AFC Outdoors presents the Ford Ranger ABT Grand Final.
Hi, I'm Steve Starling and I'm here with Adam Reuter at beautiful Lake Macquarie on the central coast of New South Wales. Behind me are gathered the cream of Australia's brim tournament anglers, and they're here to compete in the Ford Ranger ABT Brim Grand Final. Each one of these guys and girls has had to complete a podium finish in one of 13 qualifying events held right around the nation over the past year. So Adam, we're in for a real treat.
Oh, absolutely, Starlo. We've got over 100 anglers from 6 states competing for $60,000 worth of prizes. And as a bonus, the final 4 on the last day get to shoot it out for the best prize of all.
That's right, Adam, and the winner of that final session takes out the most coveted prize in Australian tournament angling, a place in the next series of the Australian Fishing Championships. So expect some fierce competition. Let's cross now to Maddie Campbell and Steve Morgan as they tell us a little bit about the history of the ABT and detail the rules of this hard-fought grand final.
Thanks, Darlo. Today, the ABT runs over 100 brim, bass and barra events nationwide, with thousands of anglers competing annually.
And the ABT has given away over $1 million in cash and prizes and is one of the fastest growing sports in the country. It's also the only official pathway to the Australian Fishing Championships.
The ABT had humble beginnings, however. Founded in 1999, the first ABT Brim event on Queensland's Gold Coast attracted around 30 anglers and was won by a pro we all know well, AFC's Tim Morgan.
The great thing about the ABT events is you don't even need a boat to go out and go fishing. Each day you get paired with a pro, you go out, you'll always learn something new, both the boaters and the non-boaters, and that's why ABT's motto is who shares wins.
If you're a non-boater, then you're at the mercy of the boaters, as it's they who ultimately decide where to fish during the competition. Now, this is a shared weight format where each day the boater and the non-boater are both awarded the weight of the heaviest 5 brim caught between the two of them, making it important for these guys to work as a team. The highest placed boater and non-boater both win a Quintrex Hornet tournament fishing boat, a serious piece of kit for any angler.
Like all Quintrex boats, they're made on Queensland's Gold Coast and have been refined over the years to be a perfect craft for both the tournament angler or anyone who wants to make the most of their time on the water. At 4.5 metres long, these boats race along with a 60 horsepower outboard, and these ones are fitted with the tournament anglers' favourite brands, Mercury and Evinrude. Both are quiet, economical and proven performers. You'll notice that just like the AFC boats, these Hornets have a full casting deck and plenty of space under the deck for live wells, batteries, chargers and of course your fishing tackle.
Our anglers will use their fish finders mounted at the helm when they're travelling and the bow-mounted unit for when they're on the job at the front of the boat. All of these Quintrexes are fitted with the latest autopilot Minn Kota motors to sneak up on those educated Lake Macquarie brim.
So there we have it, 2 incredible prizes that any angler would be proud to own. But to get their hands on them, the ABT pros will have to tame the brim in magnificent Lake Macquarie.
Lake Macquarie is situated 90 minutes drive to the north of Sydney, and by any standards it's a big waterway. It's 24 kilometres long, up to 3 kilometres wide, and has a staggering 174 kilometres of shoreline, all of which can be home to some of the biggest yellowfin brim found anywhere in the world. Our anglers have to decide which section of the 109 square kilometres of water will be the most productive for them. In Newcastle's backyard, this lake opens to the sea through a relatively small channel at Swansea, and the strong currents in the channel are a vast contrast to the smaller tidal variations in the lake itself. Nearly every sort of brimming structure is available in this lake, from crystal clear shallow weed flats to thousands of moored boats, pontoons, creeks and reefs. There's even a power station that discharges warm water into the lake. No matter where the qualifiers have come from, they're sure to find some structure that makes them feel like they're brimming back on their home waterway. Well, here it is, what all the excitement's about. The target species for this Ford Ranger ABT Brim Grand Final, the eastern yellowfin brim, a fish capable of growing to more than 50 centimetres in length. To be eligible for this competition, they need to be 25 centimetres from the tip of the nose to the fork of the tail. That's actually a bit bigger than New South Wales legal length, which is 25 centimetres to the tips of the tail. We play on the safe side. It's a catch and release tournament. The anglers can bring in a maximum of 5 fish per team per day. Let's find out how they fared on day one.
Perfect weather was predicted for day one with a slight breeze, and it was a magnificent sight as all 52 boats got set for competition. Steve, it was a crackerjack field.
Yeah, it was a great field of anglers, and all of them wanted that coveted spot on the Australian Fishing Championships. None more so than Tim Morgan. He was relegated from AFC last season, and he knows exactly how important these next few days are. Also competing in this event are AFC regulars Steve Duff and Darren Dizzy Borg. Both of these guys know what it's like to win, and they want to win this grand final.
The fishing, however, was tough, with plenty of our anglers struggling. Experienced pro Ian Miller caught plenty of small brim, but failed to get his full bag.
The Swansea Bridge was a favourite location with most of the competitors, attracting plenty of boats early on, and especially during those tide changes when the current slowed down. Amazingly, nearly half the field fished here during the day, but not our top 4, they fished at other parts of the lake.
Finishing in 4th place was Cameron Whittam and his non-boating partner Mark Healy. Cam's first session started on the sand flats. He expertly worked deep diving chubbies and lucky craft semis, and his kicker fish was an impressive 36 centimetres.
Oh, we've topped 3 kilos, 3.06 kilos. Did you have a few upgrades to get that bag?
Just a couple of small upgrades, mate. Yeah, we just ended up, our smallest fish was 27. We had 3 27s.
Finishing the day in 3rd place, John Balcombe and James Graham. They started fishing boats, but they moved onto the flats as the day went on and as the wind picked up. And they used Berkeley, gulp minnows and shrimps on a 1/20th of an ounce jig head. James landed the first 2 of 15 legal fish they caught during the day, the biggest being a 37 centimetre bruiser.
3.11 kilos. Give him a big round of applause. We have a new 3rd place.
Cheers.
Finishing in 2nd place was Anthony Wishy and Vicky Winter. They started their campaign in the southern reaches of the lake on the Weedy Flats. They landed 2 legal brim in the first few hours before the bite shut down, forcing a change of plan. But that strategy didn't work and they returned to the flats, a move which saw them bag out their largest fish, a very decent 36 centimetres.
I just met Vicky last night. I'm from Queensland, and this is a very hard place. Vicky had 2 fish early this morning, which was very good, and I got 3 fish in a row at midday.
Well, 3.36 kilos gives us a new 2nd place. Well done. Well done.
Thanks.
But finishing the day in 1st place was AFC's Scott Towner and his non-boater Daniel Bray. The former AFC champ didn't have the best pre-fish, but he stuck to his game plan, opting to fish the weedy flats in the southern part of the lake, and to great effect. Scott used a Lucky Craft pencil surface lure with a walk-the-dog retrieve. Then he switched to a Berkeley shrimp to fill out his limit. Scott's never won an ABT Grand Final. It looks like he's got Lake Macquarie in his sights.
I think we might have a new leader. We certainly do at 3.51 kilos. That's a serious bag of brim, folks. Have a look at that, and there's one absolute cracker in there. We don't have any awards for big brim here, but if we did, that one would certainly be leading at the moment. That's a beautiful fish.
I didn't really get a good pre-fish up here, so I just went out yesterday and said that I'm going to change all my tactics. I know where I can catch big fish, but I know I have to try and put a bag together. So I just went out yesterday, got a couple, saw a lot more. Went back today, and then, we got the 5 pretty quick, and probably maybe 3 or 4 upgrades as well.
So to the leaderboard after day 1, and Scotty Towner is on top with a total weight of 3.51 kilos. Less than 500 grams separate the all-important top 4, with a further 500 grams back to 10th position, giving our top 10 all a big chance.
Now, taking a look at the non-boater leaderboard for this first day, the weights, of course, all the same due to the shared weight nature of this tournament. All of the non-boaters draw a different pro tomorrow, and that can dramatically change their results. These guys have one more day to win the Quintrex. Daniel Bray's leading, and he fished with Scotty Towner.
Yeah, today was really good. It really went to plan. I went out there, just wanted to fish the flats, found some fish on them yesterday, and we just worked through them. We caught probably about maybe 15 fish between us, and we managed to get 3.5 kilo bags, so it was good. Hope I can do it again tomorrow.
Coming up after the break, day 2 of the Ford Ranger ABT Brim Grand Final from Lake Macquarie.